I am live again, and I am super, 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 super excited that you decided to come along with me. It's Dolores Jones, the comeback coach, showing you how to bounce back better, not bitter, through life experiences and bad decisions. So, I was watching a video about soul ties and soulmates, and I have so many friends, and I myself have been in that same situation where I'm wondering, Lord, when is He coming? I mean, is there really somebody for me? You know, should I continue to be myself? Should I continue to do certain things for a guy that really is not my soulmate or not my husband? Or should I just chill? Because sometimes we just give it away. We just give it away. Why? Because sometimes we're conditioned to think that, well, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. But we don't put it in the proper context. And so today I want to talk about something I heard R.C. Blake's Bishop R.C. Blake's talked about. And one of the things he says, wives wait, girlfriends go for anything. And I was like, oh, that's a nugget. So we're going to talk about that. You all let me know where you're watching from. Thank you to my YouTube followers who are here. And to those of you that have already subscribed, do you know how much I appreciate you? Well, just stick around and I'll tell you. Those of you that have not, just go to the right corner of your screen and push that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notifications, because then you'll know when we're here together. Also, Facebook, where you at? Who you with? Dolores Jones, and I appreciate you. So, wives wait, girlfriends go for anything. Now listen. There are going to be some people who are going to debate about this, but I'm going to offer it from the standpoint that okay, and then you feel free to add on to whatever it is you feel you want to bring to the table. So when I think in terms of a girlfriend, most of us start there, right? First of all, girlfriend is one of those terms, you're in school and the guy gives you a piece of paper and you mark the X if you want to be his girlfriend. We get all excited. Well, girlfriends are not necessarily positioning themselves to be wives, because a girlfriend, she's my friend and she's a girl. Right? Now, lady friend, that moves you up a little bit more. Girlfriends, we usually don't have commitments. When you go to an event or something with them, he's like, hey, this is my friend or this is my girlfriend. And there's really no, like, this is my fiance. Those are two totally different things. When you are a wife, think about this. There's an agreement, there's a commitment, and you're not desperate. Now, I'm not talking about you get into becoming a wife because you got pregnant. Now, you have to understand why you decided to become a wife. Or are you just playing house? But a wife who really knows what she brings to the table, honey, she'll be like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not accepting that. You want to go over there and play with some little girls, you go over there and play with them little girls. We got bills here, we got kids here, we got to take care of business. Wives are not looking for excuses. They want a man, not a man that, still playing boyish games, making excuses. You got a woman here, there, and everywhere. When a woman decides she wants to be a wife and she really knows what that entails, then it behooves her, if she decides to just accept any and everything just to say she got a husband. Okay? All right. Now, if you totally disagree, that's okay. But if you have your thoughts, please go ahead and put them in your comments. Woo! So, wives wait because they know what their worth is. They know what their worth is. A girlfriend, okay, you can play around. Okay, you didn't call me today. Okay, I understand. A wife, you don't have your priorities straight, baby. A wife is not going to tolerate all of the foolishness. Now, I'm not talking about the ones who just said I do to be doing something. I'm talking about the type of women who have worked hard to become the very best woman they could be. They have standards, they have principles, they know how to raise children, they have jobs. Listen, they have made it. And they want a partner. They don't want to change nobody's pampers. You hear what I'm saying? They've already raised their children. They're not here to raise another human being. And when a woman knows what she brings to the table, some things she's just not going to go for. Now, think about this. Are you thirsty? Now, because when we thirsty, we're like, oh my God, I never had nothing like that before in my life. And sometimes we get in trouble and our hearts are broken and And we start feeling like, oh, this is the only one. So let me go ahead and love the one I'm with. Well, if the one you're with is acting trifling and crazy, why would you do that? These are just questions you can ask yourself. Now, for one, I remember I didn't want to be an insecure woman. Oh no, 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 no. But something happened in my marriage, and I found myself becoming an insecure woman, right? And so y'all know they think that things happen. So this particular time, a young woman called because my husband at the time we were separated. So I'm okay. I'll give it that much. But based upon the conversations he and I were having, it was as if to say, we're back together, let's do this. I went through my phone, he went through his phone, you know, told the guy I decided to work it out with my husband. That was it. I didn't make a lot of calls. One call right there in front of my husband. And I thought he was going to do the same. So one day, he's in the shower, his phone rings. No picture show up. I'm like, are you serious? So one young woman, I answered the phone. She's like, Dolores? I'm thinking, yeah. Because now, first of all, y'all already know. If a man has a good woman and he doesn't want to appreciate it, he's going to tell you about all the things she's not doing because he wants to reel you in so you think that you can come and save him. But it takes a lot for a woman to be somebody's wife if she is really about that man. So here I am. Then another text comes through. And the woman says, when are you coming to take a bath? And I'm like, what? You're taking baths with women? So I text back and I said, what time? Now, some people say, Dolores, that's childish. Well, yeah, sometimes we forget who we are and what we have to offer. We played a little silly games. So, of course, I gave him his phone when he came out the shower. Here you go, here you go. And I thought that was going to be the end of it, but it wasn't. Then people are still calling, and now I'm feeling insecure, and I'm like, do I need to check his phone? And when you find yourself becoming somebody you don't want to be, that's probably not the relationship. Okay. Why would you become insecure when you walk into the relationship a confident, bold, incredible woman? Because let me tell you something. Men know if you're going to be a booty call or the best thing that's ever happened to them. A friend of mine, Jack A. Daniels, that is his real name, he has the saying, are you the freak, the friend, or the forever? Are you the freak, the friend, or the forever? You know based upon the expectations, and you know based upon your own actions. If you're the freak, then he's going to call you freak in the morning, freak in the night, okay? Call you for the booty call. Don't expect no Christmas gifts, nothing. You just the freak. You know how to back that thing up. And if you're okay with that, he'll roll with it. Now, the friend is a person he may call and talk to about his girlfriend problems, because every man wants a friend, right? And then she advises him, man, you tripping, she's really a good woman, or not, right? But then some women don't want to be friends, but men do want friends, and they need friends. Friends, female friends are good for you as long as you keep the boundaries. And then there's the forever. The forever is the woman he cannot live without. Not because she's gorgeous, but that does help, but because it's something within his soul, something within his psyche that says, this is the woman for me. And if I let her go, I'm not going to find this anywhere else. So it's not just your hips, lips, and your fingertips. It's your ability to stimulate a man's mind, to tap into his spirit and his heart, for him to know, if I let her go, I'm a fool, okay? And his mom and his parents, they all tell him that. And forever, he's going to make whatever sacrifices are necessary. You don't have to run after him. You don't have to give him any ultimatums. You just do like Steve Harvey's current wife did. She said Steve was still full of games. He sent for her to come and visit him. He steps into the other room and he takes a phone call with another female. He comes back into the living room and Marjorie's standing there with her bag. She can get in the cab, go back to the airport. She says, listen, you're not ready. And I'm not here to play games. I didn't fly all the way here to play games with you. Either you want me or you don't. See, that's a woman who knows her worth. I don't have to play games with you. Because she's a hot commodity. Girlfriends, we're really not sure. We trying to still impress you. Yeah, right? Girlfriends, okay, I'm going to go with this, or I'm not going to go with that. Well, girl, why are you making? We haven't really defined our relationship. We have a situationship. Okay. What does that look like? Girl, I'm just still trying to figure it out. You really have no clear guidance. You don't even have a vision for the relationship. So you're my girlfriend. Some people say, oh, that's just my home. Now they'll tell the person that, but you're sitting there going, we just got out of bed together. How am I going to be your homie? Girl, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. Show some sign. Tell me that you are mine and I am yours, whatever, right? You got to go through guessing games. Girlfriends go through guessing games. Girlfriends have that mentality of not really going to say too much because, you know, he might, y'all know what I'm saying. Dolores Jones, your comeback coach, is here, taking your questions and your comments. Feel free to go ahead and make those comments if you're on my YouTube page or if you're on Facebook. Yeah, come on into the conversation. I see you out there. I just wanted you to say something, right? We're talking about wives will wait. Girlfriends go for anything. Drama. Nope. A woman who's ready, she knows what she brings to the table and what she offers, she's not getting ready to play with you. Either you want to do it or you don't. And sometimes, you know, we have to be careful. We have to be very, very careful. See, a wife, most of the ones I know, they're not getting ready to fight you. Does it take girlfriends? I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna beat her down. Who she thinks she's talking to? You have no clear boundaries, and the man is not standing up for you. So why would you fight somebody over you? So back to the situation where I was feeling, you know, very insecure. Isn't it interesting how you can go into a relationship very strong and things start happening, it starts chipping away at your self-esteem. And so we're out at an amusement park and with family, it's family time, and his phone starts ringing. And I'm thinking, wait, family time? But this is what bothered me. He couldn't stand there and take the call in front of me. You, my husband, what you got to hide? You don't got to hide nothing. Now, normally, I wouldn't even trip with you. But because of what has happened in the relationship, now I'm needing to be reassured that you're in this for the long haul, that you're done playing games, and that we're going to do this. We really going to do this. We're going to recommit both of ourselves to this marriage, and we're going to forget what was behind us. But no. So I'm asking questions. Lord, you know when a person's in trouble, they try to make it your fault. So he's like, this has got to stop. And I caught myself that time, lady. And I said, you know what? You're right. It has to stop. I said, they can have your ass. Because anybody will screw you, but not everybody's going to make you a wife. And that's when you got to know what you have to offer. Okay? You don't let the person tell you what you bring to the table. You got to know it. And if the person doesn't appreciate it, you got to let them go. This is a TKO. I got to let it go. Let it go. Sounds like another TKO. Come through, Teddy Pendergrass. Okay? What you think about that? Girlfriends will fall for anything. And sometimes we get caught up as girlfriends because we want to show them that we are worthy of becoming wives. We start giving them wifey benefits. You know, let me find out what his favorite this is. Let me do this. And I was talking to a young man, and he said, well, you know, well, why shouldn't a girlfriend cook for her man? I said, first of all, sometimes women, we go overboard. We cook because we're like, okay, well, I got to cook. I got to cook because, you know, if I don't cook, and then you find yourself cooking and cooking and cooking, and you're giving it all away, and then this man walks away. And by the time you meet your husband, your king, you tired of cooking because you done gave it all away. I remember this. Let's pretend that this is actual Sprite. But let's pretend that this is a Sprite bottle. You know, the kind where you take it off and the suds come out. Okay, so here you are as a whole woman. All right, and you shake it, and you get in the hands of somebody, and he opens it up, and you just let it all out. And then there's so much of you left in that bottle. So now you put it back on. You put top back on there, and you go to the next relationship. Here's a person shaking, it's all up in your hand. You're giving it all away. Now remember, you don't still have a full bottle. You just got some left, right? So then you take the top off again. It goes, shh. Then you realize that's not it. So you put the top back on, and now you just got a little bit. You got a little bit left. This time when you shake it, you take the top off, nothing happens. Nothing. Nothing. Why? You've already given the best away. If you want to be a wife, have that responsibility, then prepare yourself for that. And then when you know what it takes, because you know what it takes, then if the person doesn't offer it, let it go. Let it go. I'm not gonna say men are like buses, but boys are. Boys are like buses. They come around because it takes work to become a man. The same way it takes work to become a woman. You got to know your worth. You got to make a decision. Do I just want to be a girlfriend? And if you want to be a girlfriend, just be a girlfriend. If you want to be friends with benefits, be friends with benefits. But don't try to change it in the middle of it. Because y'all know a lot of people like change. Whatever you allow, that's what the person's going to serve. Whatever you tolerate, that's what they're going to give you. And you don't have to be nasty about it. Because sometimes you get into a girlfriend situation and you decide you want something different. So you don't have to give them an ultimatum. You can simply say something like, you know, when I first met you, I just felt like, you know, we would hit it off, and you really have a lot that I like in a man. But at this juncture of my life, at this stage of my life, I'm thinking about something more long term, right? And you've been great. You've been great. But I want something a little different. And if that's not something you want, it's okay. And then you wait to see what the person says. You don't have to say, well, listen, there's other fish in the sea. You don't need to know all that. These men are not stupid. You hear me? They're not stupid. So give them more credit. Right? If they start playing games, you can just say, you know what, I thought you and I were on the same page. I thought, you know, we shared the same values, but apparently you don't, because you were in bed with another woman. It happens. You ain't got to cuss them out. You got to decide who you want to be, how you want to show up. And you do that consistently, because that is a reflection of who you are now. If you're still doing stuff that you did back in high school, something wrong. You don't wear diapers all the time. Here's another thing I noticed. You know, people say, I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass woman. You ain't got to announce that. Just be that. Just be that. There are certain qualities of a woman. There's certain qualities of a man. Then there's certain qualities of a jokester. And if that's not what you want, don't accept it. You ever order something in a restaurant, and you order something, and the waiter comes over and says, did you order the onion peels? We got some onion peels. And they try to give it to you. You say, oh, I didn't order that. You don't just let them sit on the table unless you want something free and you don't want nobody to know. But you say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't order that. Or they bring you your meal and you said you wanted your steak medium rare and it's well done. And then you cut into it and you say, I'm sorry, I asked for medium well and you bought well done. And then the person's going to say, oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Would you like us to make that over for you? And you can say, sure, and thank you. Now, if you can do that at a dinner table because you're spending your money and your precious commodity is your time, you don't get that back. So think about that, how you're spending your time. Because nobody makes you do anything. You have made a decision as to what you are going to do, what you are going to accept, and what you are going to allow. Now take this for free. You cannot help who becomes attracted to you, but you can decide who you will entertain. T. Jackson is on that. I love that guy. He's really smart, very good. You cannot help who's attracted to you because you're beautiful. You have a lot to offer. But you do decide if you're going to entertain that person. If you're not interested, you're not interested. Why are you entertaining him? You know there's nothing coming out of this. Why? Because sometimes we don't want to be alone. And if that's the case, then say that. And then deal with it so that's not the case the next time. Be okay with that. You know, sometimes men will try to test you to see if you're thirsty. There's a show out there called Black Love on OWN, and I was watching it, and it was really good. And it was talking about when they knew it was love. It was like, it was love. And one of the things is when you know it's love, you don't have to do all this extra stuff. It just flows. The conversation flows. Why? Because at that time, you all have aligned and you all have prepared yourself for it. You don't have to go through all these things. So one man, he was talking about, he saw this beautiful woman at church and he asked someone, what's her name? He waited 2 weeks to say something to her. So he said, hey, Daphne. And she said, hello. She said, how did you know my name? Because he had been asking about her. So he introduced herself and then she walked away and he says, oh, she's not thirsty. Sometimes we can get ahead of it. Oh, I'm Daphne. How you doing? You good? You want to go out and have a bite to eat? Ladies, am I the only one that's ever done that? Okay, well, no, I'm not. And don't you pick up that bill. Don't you do it. Don't do it, Miss Sophia. Don't do it. It ain't worth it, Miss Silly. Come on, y'all. You waiting to be a wife? Or you going for anything because you're a girlfriend? I tell you anything. You look now, I don't understand this, and I'm not judging, but listen, I've met women and they've been with a person for 10, 15 years. And I said, what are you doing? Well, no, what are you doing? I didn't ask you what is he doing. Because apparently he's just going along whatever you allow. I'm asking you, what are you doing? Well, okay. Because here's the thing. If somebody strings you along and they're not serious, you get to decide you don't want that. It breaks my heart when someone gets strung along all this time and then the man go marry somebody. You mad, you pissed, you ready for somebody. I hear what you're saying. Oh, believe me, I understand what you're saying. But that's your decision. And then he said, I didn't ask you to wait for me. But you know we was having problems. You know that. You knew that, Tracy. We was having problems. And I was saying to you, you could walk away. And you say, but I got all these kids. That's another thing. Girlfriends will go for anything. Wives, we ain't just popping out babies just to be making them. If it ain't working, it ain't working. When I was married, I had one son. His father and I were on shaky ground. He said, can we have another baby? I said, oh, no. No. Because I knew that if it went out, if it went down and the relationship was over, I was going to be caring for them 2 children. And I said, I went and got on birth control pills because we were still married. We was working through some things. But I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to have a tribe of 4,000 children. And, because children don't fix things. Girlfriends will go for anything. You better come to yourself. Leonard said, what are your thoughts on dating a younger man? That's a great question. Well, sometimes they say age ain't nothing but a number. But it really depends upon that young man's philosophy. Because some men have old souls. And then you have to feel comfortable, right? You have to feel comfortable being with the younger man because there may be certain things he hasn't experienced. Same way with women. You remember that movie, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, and she's out there and Taye Diggs is the young guy and she's just living her life. She's having a great time and she's sitting there with this romantic vibe in the room. And she's looking down and he comes behind her and he takes a piece of ice and puts it down her shirt. And she's like, playful. If that type of stuff bothers you. The other thing, a younger man, what does he really want? Because there's some good looking, nice younger men with their head on straight. I don't know if I met any, And if I did, I wouldn't go out with them because I know I'm not having any more children. So when you think about dating these people, you need to ask questions like, do you want kids? And ladies, understand, if you're fine and all that, the man gonna say, no, I don't need no kids. You tell that young man you need some children. Because you already know. Now, in reference to the younger man thing too, I have met younger men who are more responsible than older men. Sometimes it's how a person is brought up. So in some levels, age isn't a number. Sometimes it is. But when you realize, I dated somebody, Leonard, and Lord have mercy, I must have been tripping Jesus. They said God protects the babies and the fools, honey. I call myself dating this young man. He called himself moving to Kansas City from St. Louis. And I was freshly out of a marriage. So I thought, y'all stay with me. Have my divorce papers. I come home and the young man has action figures. He's sitting on the floor and he has Xbox. And of course, my son loved it because my son loved to play games. So I'm like, okay, so you said your job transferred you here, so when are you going to start? And he kept giving me like, okay, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do this. So then I'm like, okay, bills is happening. You're gonna have to do something, right? You're still sleeping on the couch because we have that, right? So we go grocery shopping one day, Leonard, and I'm paying for groceries now. Sometimes we get a little crazy. And he picks up this $10 can of cashews. He puts it in the basket. And I take the cashews back out of the basket. Because I'm thinking, you ain't got no skin in the game. And ain't no way I'm about to do this. So eventually I come home and he made my lunch, I'll make a sandwich. Okay, that's great, but it's my meat. It's my bread. I come back, he's back in the floor playing Xbox. So I said, listen, bro, I'm gonna help you put your resume together. Because apparently the job you said was waiting on you, it's not working. Gets a job. He gets a job at GameStop. I said, hey, go for it. Maybe you can own one. I don't care. Just go to work. Come back the next day. He's at work. Come back the day after that. He's back at home playing Xbox. I said, oh, no, something's wrong with this picture. I said, what happened? Well, something came up on my background check and they had to fire me. What? He wasn't handling his business. He knew something was on his background check. And what did I do? The social worker in me, I picked up the phone. I called the men's shelter. Yes, I did. Hey, Richard, it's Dolores. How you doing? Great, great. Hey, I need to know if you all have a bed for a male bed for tonight at the shelter. You do? Okay, well, what time does it need to be there? Okay, his name is such and such, such. All right, young man. I said, listen, sir, I need you to go down to the city mission and ask for Richard. Now, you need to be there before 8 o'clock or he's going to give your bed away. He said, what is City Union Mission? I said, it is a men's shelter. I told you from the beginning, I don't take care of grown men. Yes, I did that. He couldn't believe it. He tried to jump froggy. I said, now, do you want to walk out on your own or do you need a police escort? Because what's not ready to happen is I'm not getting ready to play with you. And that was the end of that. So I want you to just mull this over, think about it. Dolores Jones is my name, the comeback coach. Feel free to inbox me. Feel free to email me at DoloresJonesTV at yahoo.com. That's Dolores Jones TV, just like my YouTube channel name, at yahoo.com. I love to go back and forth with you and answer more of your intimate questions because sometimes it's very difficult to come out here and share like that. It can be a bit embarrassing, but it's best for you to be embarrassed now than for you to be miserable later. All right? Wives wait. They wait for what they want because they know that they deserve it and they know what they bring to the table. And no other woman can take that away from them because they've worked on it. A girlfriend, she's just going to go whatever, especially if you don't have any deadlines, you don't have any goals, no vision for the relationship. We're just chilling. But I heard Dr. What's his name? Oh, he's awesome. He has a book called Click. And he said this, he said, if he can't build with you, he can't chill with you. I said, you better come on and talk. Dr. Fraser, George C. or George S. or C. Fraser, Frastr. Wonderful. His book is called Click. It talks about uh, chemistry. It talks about building with someone. But if he can't build with you, honey, he can't chill with you. Sucking up all your air conditioning, eating your kids' cornflakes and French fries and hamburgers. Come on now. You better than that. I appreciate your time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification button. Thank you, thank you, thank you again for spending time with me. Dolores Jones, your comeback coach. Simply want to see you win. My job is to help you bounce back better, not bitter, through life experiences and bad decisions. I'm also the owner and CEO of a company called Finally Free. What is Finally Free, Dolores? Well, I help women make bold moves beyond labels, limitations, and low self-esteem so that you can have the life that you desire and that you deserve. But you got to be bold about this thing. You can't, what they say, pussyfoot around. You know, you can't do it. You got to be willing to let it go so that you can embrace what is before you. But if you keep looking in the rearview mirror, you're trying to drive forward and you're looking in the rearview mirror, you're going to crash. All right. Take notes, play it again, share the video, tag, click, share. Appreciate you. Bye-bye for now. Bye.